What's your name? That's Cash. Thank you.
What are you doing here? I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh my God, I didn't expect to see you with the camera at our championship.
Oops.
What?
Oops.
You caught us unprepared. It's supposed to be like this. Unbelievable. Hey, hold on. Let's play them. Let's play them. Everybody. Let's hit that. Play them.
Oh, it's good to be the champ.
Woo!
Why are you always shoving a camera in my face? Oh, because when I talk, it's money. That makes sense. This is the money maker right here. Get a close up on that. That's where the money is. This guy, right here. Beautiful. That's art. This guy was down the weed. Maybe. Maybe well.
5 minutes.
He takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes is 5 minutes, brother.
I think it was like 3 minutes, but
It was close.
it was close.
Let's say 4. 4? There we go.
It's for DVD.
Cool, I'm on the DVD.
Yeah, you are. You're
Yeah.
part of the team.
Big league, let's go.
I got to try to sell some.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 6th annual IWC Night of Superstars here in Meadville, Pennsylvania. It's the craziest time of the IWC year. We got stars aplenty, and I got a star with me right now, Super Indy champion Chris LaRusso.
You absolutely do. It is Night of the Superstars, which means it is the night of Chris LaRusso. But starting out first, we have a big 8-man tag match that was made just seconds before we went on the air.
Well, in case you didn't hear any of that, because we had two people yelling over one another at the same time, this is an 8-man tag team matchup that was just made seconds before we went on the air, as the Super Indy champion so astutely observed. You're fired up tonight, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. It's a big night. We're going to start out with some big-time action. We got some big boys in the ring here.
We got the heavy hitters. We're going to have some clever in that ring. Talking about the mega powers, Jock Sampson and Maggie May, Magnum CK, Chris Kahn, the masters of the after drop. They have really turned things around, turned things upside down in the IWC Tag Team Division, and they're joined by a newfound alliance we first learned about at IWC 16. Marshall Bull taking Jamie Jamison under his wing. We're about to meet the opposition in just a moment. 8-man tag team bonus attraction. What a night it was in this building a year ago for Remy LeMay and Keith Hawk as they won the IWC Tag Team titles with Booker T by their side. What a night it was for Remy and Hawk last night in Wheeling Island Casino as they upended Jackson Argos and RC Dupree Team Storm with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat watching their back. It's clear to me some very important Hall of Famers see a lot of potential in Remy and Keith.
Absolutely. Remy and Keith, former tag team champions. They've been trying to get back into their winning ways, trying to get back into the title scene. A win here tonight might just get them over that hump. It was a big win last night against Team Storm, who's been pretty much running roughshod over everyone since joining the IWC.
Yeah, last night was a big step forward in a team that has had struggles and frustrations over a number of months. Let's talk about who's rounding out that team. Venango County native lumberjack LaRue, a cult favorite up here in this part of the state of Pennsylvania. And you want to talk about cults or maybe of a different kind. Chest flexor, the leader of the Sexy Talented Dudes, always very unique and eclectic, and you don't really ever know what chest flexor's thinking, and oftentimes I don't think you want to know.
No, I don't want to know anything that's going on in that disgusting man's head. Have you ever shaken his hand?
I have. Even that's creepy, and he gives you that weird look with his eye, and that slight smirk.
Yeah.
You feel like you need a shower after you interact with chest flexor.
Can't imagine what tagging with him would be like.
I can't imagine what these individual foursomes tagging together is going to be like. You've got on one side of the ring with the Mega Powers, Marshall, and Jamie, you got a couple of pretty big egos and some pretty big loudmouths there. On the other side of the coin, you have four individuals who, all right, I think they can coexist, but they all think entirely differently from one another.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't say to the, oh good lord.
Oh, Keith Ott's jiggling.
Like a jello mold that's pushed off a table.
You think he taught Ricky Steamboat how to do that?
Oh, good lord. You ever heard of American Blue? Never mind.
I called that match. IndyWrestling.us, you can watch American Balloon freak out the entire IWC company in 10 minutes. But how is Keith Ott? And Keith Ott's a big guy, but let's be honest, he has, let's put it nicely, a low center of gravity. Magnum CK is about 6'6", 300.
Yeah, but Magnum CK...
Oh, he's being grinded upon.
You saw Magnum CK went for that waistlock takedown, and he could not pick up Keith Ott.
Oh, I don't think Keith Ott's machinations are exactly accepted in the era Magnum CK likes to channel. Ow!
Big boot right to the mush.
And just like that, Keith Ott gets shut down. The Mega Powers, hey, they can be loud, they can be boisterous, and they love to have the spotlight on themselves, but when they have to be, they can get the job done. Keep in mind how they dissected, decimated former tag team champions, the STDs, back at Reload.
CK going to tag in.
Qualified to be #1 contenders at IWC 16.
Absolutely. Marshall the Bull Gambino, the tag team expert, the tag team specialist.
Yeah, the most decorated tag team competitor in IWC history. I believe he's got 5 reigns to his record. The Gambino family dynasty dominated the tag division of this company for about half a decade.
Oh, big DDT.
Oh. And keep in mind the history between Marshall the Bull, Remy LeBay, and Keith Ott. They had some violent wars throughout 2016. It ended with Marshall the Bull extending his hand, showing respect for the young underdog team. You gotta believe now that Marshall has a new young gun in tow. That respect goes
Wow, look at the strength.
That respect goes right out the window. And Jameson has impressed beyond his years, and just a couple of matches, shoulders down for 2.
Man who was originally broke into the business by the great Rip Rogers, saw some seasoning at the IWC Training Academy, the Iron City Wrestling Academy, and has been impressive
Rip
since
Rogers.
his debut.
No wonder he's in a bad mood all the time.
You know what Rip's favorite word is?
Please don't shake. Magnum CK choking away. Keep in mind, also Rip Rogers' project, former IWC title holder Dylan Boston. So that shows Rip.
Great pedigree as a trainer, has had a hand in a lot of great stars in this great sport.
And right now it's Jock Sampson, who considers himself the brightest star of them all. The master of the dab. See that dab elbow he broke out a month ago?
I did. I think it went viral.
He thought in trouble here, but these fans, they really adopted Hart and Remy a year ago. They remember, and they want to see these individuals. Oh,
there it is.
There's step 1. Wait for it. Wait for it.
No, it's going to be cool. Watch.
All right, nicely done. Wind up, drop down. Cover to enough.
He's taking a lot of punishment. The foursome on the other side of the ring has been making frequent tags. Oh!
And they've isolated the smallest man, height-wise at least, on the opposing team in Keith Ott. You gotta believe if Lumberjack LaRue or Remy LeBay or Chest Flexor could get in there, the Tempo is going to turn. And talking about Jamie Jamison again, he really stood out at Proving Ground when Wardlow issued that open challenge. Jamison had the champion run for his money. No! No! No, people, no!
No, turn away!
Oh, no, it's on top of him. What happened to my life? Oh. Chris, we've gone from Ring of Honor to this.
So full moon in Meadville.
What is happening? I can't see. I've been struck blind.
Meanwhile, there is an 8-man tag team match continuing in the rings.
What? Where? Oh, hey, tag. Here comes Chuck.
Oh, double tag.
Is that legal? Marshall doesn't like it. Marshall, look at this.
They're stacking them up like cordwood.
Remy and Flex are taking care of everybody.
Hit him at the top of the head.
Yeah.
They're going to call in the lumberjack.
Well, double team on Marshall first. Big time takedown. Who would have thought Flexer and Remy could work this well together?
Oh, double clothesline from behind.
Ouch.
Dumps both of them out.
That's that power of Magnum CK. My goodness.
Can't quite see from our vantage point what's going on over there. There's a brawl on the floor going on is what's going on.
It's a crazy night. My Sorgatron monitor from last night's lost in transit. I don't know what's going on at this point. But I know Marshall's in the ring, and I know there's, 6 bodies beating the heck out of each other on the floor.
They might fight all the way back to Elizabeth.
Hey, man, that's where we'll be next month.
Hey, what's Marshall thinking?
Marshall's thinking pain and destruction.
No.
Are you serious? Marshall's 280 pounds! Flying bull! Good grief! And Jock is back in.
Oh no!
Lumberjack doesn't see him.
Lumberjack, a huge favorite in this area.
Is Jock measuring for maybe a lariat? Lumberjack grew up around these parts. He's a lumberjack and he's okay, but he ducks. Lumberjack drop coming up.
No way!
Got him! Cover! And that'll do it! Oh, Magnum CK! Well, hey, Hart, Remy, and Flexer had that trump card. It was named Lumberjack LaRue, but Magnum CK, not too happy, and we got a brawl again. Nothing settled here. But here comes Corey. It's
STDs! And they have weapons!
Ruxpin, Lee Ryans, Pump Ferrari's even out here. Good grief, we have lost control again. Chest Flexer's buddies had his back.
That was one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in my entire life. The STDs running to the ring bearing weapons.
Man, when you told me before we went on the air this was about to get ugly, I thought you were just talking about the STDs. I didn't know you meant the match. And Flexer, I think he'll be okay. Well, he'll be as good as he was. Not sure that's classified as normal by many medical doctors, but there you see the celebration. STDs, Lumberjack LaRue, Keith Hart, Remy LeMay, standing tall. Let's hold hands and spin. It's all successful here at Meadville, Night of Superstars 6. We're all having a great time. All right, it is a chaotic night here in Meadville, Pennsylvania. We have a spillover crowd, we have meet and greets extended, and we have IWC Championship gold at stake. Michael Swords panicked, he's running around. Joe, it's all backwash, discombobulated. And this man has done a lot of discombobulating up and down the IWC roster. The man with more in his name has led to the end of the careers of more IWC legends than perhaps anybody else. And Wardlow added another victim to his list. Didn't end the career, but he ended the championship aspirations of the New Age Plague Gory last night in Wheeling. Jimmy DeMarco has fallen. Super Hentai has fallen. Jimmy Vegas has fallen. None of those three we've really heard a peep from since. The man with war in his name has not just been on top of the mountain, he has controlled IWC from on top of that mountain.
Joe, an angel is going to get its wings. We're going to hear from LeBar.
Oh my God, no.
Settle. Joe, be quiet. I need to hear this.
Angels are weeping. Children are crying. Justin LeBar, the only manager with bar in his name, going to talk.
He is right. That is his name.
Now it goes downhill. Let's do a fact check meter. How much money he shell out to get verified on Twitter?
I hear that this is the hometown area of Luscious Rocky Reynolds. I also hear that he wrote 2 books. Well, here's the reality check there, Mr. Luscious. Volume 3 is going to be Rocky Reynolds, How My Career Got Ended by the man with war in his name, the IWC Heavyweight Champion.
Joe, I would read that book cover to cover.
If LeBar wrote it, someone would have to proofread. But don't get too big for your britches, gentlemen, because you've got a bona fide Pennsylvania hero in the Northwest PA area who's been the embodiment of wrestling in this region for well over a decade. Luscious Rocky Reynolds actually was victorious in the main event of the very first IWC Night of Superstars in Meadville. And every year he's come back, and every year he's faced the best of the International Wrestling Cartel. Could tonight be the night Rocky changes the face of IWC and wins the IWC Championship?
Hey, I'm not going to take anything away from Rocky Reynolds. He's a guy that always takes it to you. He always goes out there, and he has been very, very successful in IWC, and especially in this town. However, he's never gone against Wardlow. He's never had to face a mind like LeBar, and I think Rocky Reynolds is going to be punched in the face Rocky Reynolds. Can that be his new nickname?
Rocky Reynolds, a 4-time NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion in his travels. Let's go to Kitch. His name, the man that no one's been able to figure out, unbeaten in IWC thus far, and not just is he unbeaten, but hell, half the time he's untested, and that's not a knock on anybody that's come through the doors. That's just how dominant Wardlow is from bell to bell between those ropes as you see the prize at stake. IWC Championship with 16 years of rich history behind it. But BC Steel, hey, I've known Rocky Reynolds since I started in this business. And even back when I was starting to break into this business, Rocky Reynolds' reputation was already solidified. Rocky Reynolds had already been a major representative throughout this country and won championships and made his mark. Rocky Reynolds, though, it's almost like he doesn't age. Every time I see him, he's in better shape. He's leaner. He doesn't lose any of that power. And he's still just as successful, not just here in Meadville, but in his other travels as well.
Well, Joe, it's going to be a great night here for the champions. I'm going to go on a limb here and make a prediction. Here we go. You ready for this?
I hope.
The greatest IWC heavyweight champion we have ever had, Wardlow, is going to retain his title. That's my one prediction. You want to hear another one?
Go hit me with it.
The IWC Tag Team Champions, the fraternity, are walking in the Tag Champs and walking out the Tag Champs. And you want to hear the greatest prediction of all?
Hit me with it.
The IWC Super Indy Champion, Chris LaRusso, accompanied by myself and Bulk Nasty, takes out John McChesney and maybe even takes out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Clean sweep for the champions. You heard it here.
Some bold and brazen predictions from Benjamin C. Steele as Wardlow, looking at his comfort zone in the early going. Wardlow is taller than Rocky Reynolds. He's heavier than Rocky Reynolds. But Rocky Reynolds, the way he can beat out Wardlow, I think it's going to be not just speed and agility, but also heart. And also the home field advantage, because so many of these fans have looked at Rocky as a hometown hero for 1, 2, I don't know how many decades.
Well, it's certainly been a while, and if you look at his credentials, they're unparalleled.
Oh, hard coastline.
But if you look at Wardlow's physical specimen, also unparalleled. Joe, I'm getting choked up here. I might cry.
Hey, you can put Wardlow's rookie year in IWC against anybody in history, and Wardlow might have the absolute most impressive. I can't deny that. Justin LaBar, as the mind behind the muscle, has only added to Wardlow's dominance. Rocky puts the brakes on, and there's a how do you do.
I don't think that was so much a how do you do, Joe.
There's a low bridge and Wardlow to the floor.
That's over the top rope. That's a DQ.
And Rocky launches himself. Good God!
Wardlow just swatted him. He ducked and just... I mean, I've never seen a defense like that before. He just moved. He just stood there, ducked, and luscious Rocky Reynolds at the floor.
Hey, I know last night was an event entitled High Stakes, but these athletes are going all out, whether it was the pre-show battle royal, the 8-man tag here, or anything to come. Everybody wants to make a mark. Everybody wants to make an impression. Everybody wants to leave this capacity crowd buzzing about them. I think this is the largest crowd we've ever had in Meadville. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, it's almost standing room only. All seats are filled. And you know, Joe,
I almost sold your seat before you came out here.
My seat has my name on it. It says BCS right there, just like my hat.
I've been in that chair many times.
In my chair?
Yes.
Really?
Wardlow in control.
You didn't get my permission, but, you know, we saw last night just how impressive Wardlow was against Rory. Really took it to him. And imagine how much more impressive he's going to be. He has LaBar on the outside. LaBar returned from Somalia this morning, handing out food to the kids just to come here. Now, what a humanitarian.
And you got to wonder, is the pressure going to mount on Wardlow? 2 defenses in a span of about, 25, 26 hours. Wardlow hasn't faced a schedule like this in the past. Will this affect him as Wardlow now working on the back of Rocky Reynolds?
Well, there's no doubt about it that when you have a busy schedule, it can certainly weigh you down, can certainly get to you. I'm sure LaBar has him definitely ready to go. So the other question you got to ask is the people around him, is that pressure going to get to him? But no matter what kind of pressure you put on Wardlow...
Oh, one elevation on the spine buster.
When you put pressure on Cole, it turns into a diamond.
Cover here to end up.
And that's what you're looking at in the ring right now, our heavyweight champion, a diamond.
Second time near fall. Well, we'll see if Rocky Reynolds can beat the diamond in the rough. They can finally figure out the formula to stop Wardlow. There's a way to beat any man. Just no one has figured it out for Wardlow yet.
Well, unless you've got some sort of kryptonite, I don't think you're going to be defeating Wardlow. And he's just so impressive. And why are they... Come on now. All these people are doing chanting for Rocky is going to get Rocky Reynolds more and more hurt.
What do you want them to do? Sit quietly?
Well, they should respect Wardlow's wishes and respect Justin LaBar, whose ears could be hurting from such loud noise.
Oh darn. Oh, not his ear.
Yes, both of them.
Rocky Reynolds going to elevate Wardlow. Wardlow's about 275. Can't get the big man up. Hey, Wardlow deserves a ton of respect. He's got the IWC Championship, number 1. Number 2, I don't think I've ever seen Wardlow get pinned in my life. Number 3, Justin LaBar. Hey, I can't argue with success, but the swagger these guys have about them does not lend themselves to getting respect. You don't demand respect, you earn it. And as far as I'm concerned, in Meadville, Wardlow still has something to prove.
Well, Wardlow may have something to prove in Meadville, but you got to look at the bigger picture, Joe. I know the people in Meadville really don't get things like
look at this strength. Woo! The belly-to-belly release.
They don't really get things like cable and any access to the outside world. They still get their water from wells. But that's the man in there right now. That is the king.
And a second time. Good grief.
And that is a king's suplex that you're seeing right now. Joe, I think he could toss Rocky Reynolds all the way out here.
And Wardlow, the scariest thing, and we've talked about the credentials of Rocky Reynolds, a hero, a veteran for well over probably about 2 decades. But Wardlow is making it look easy. The most decorated man to come out of Northwest Pennsylvania independent wrestling, and Wardlow is making it look easy.
And you rattled it down before, Jimmy DeMarco, Super Hentai. We've seen him go toe-to-toe with the likes of Jimmy Vegas. Everybody put in his way, he sends them down.
RJ City, DJ Z. He beat 3 or 4 guys in Proving Ground. Wardlow was going to finish Rocky, but Rocky counters. Can he get the slam? No! Too much weight cover. No. Your fault. Showing you Rocky Reynolds still has some fight left in him.
Well, I'll tell you, that might be some foolish pride from Rocky Reynolds trying to lift up the big man. Hey, it's great to say, hey, I'm powerful enough to lift up the big man, but it's way, way different to say I can pin his shoulders for 3 seconds, and we haven't seen that yet.
Wardlow almost looking impatient, indignant, offended that Rocky would dare fight back.
Here they go again. Have you ever seen the Rocky movie where he fights the Russian?
The Rocky Reynolds movie?
No, there was another Rocky. That people in Philadelphia built a statue to a movie. Good for them. But you know how the Russian just beat down and he beat down and he beat down Apollo Creed?
Sure.
Well, that's what we're going to see right now.
Oh, what a power slam. Hard to argue with visuals like that to accompany your words.
You're right. I speak the truth all the time.
And Wardlow, LaBar signaling for Wardlow to go upstairs.
And Joe, you got to imagine he's going for the swanton. And if that's it, it's over.
Nobody there! A 275-pound man does not leave his feet often. Perhaps we've seen Exhibit A as to why.
And Joe, I hate to say it, but that he might have been showboating a little bit too much, might have taken a little bit too much time up there.
But can Rocky Reynolds recover? He's taken an incredible amount of punishment. He's been thrown around this ring multiple times. Rocky Reynolds is in a bad way, but if he can dig down deep, he may have an opportunity.
And Joe, Wardlow's getting up a little bit slower than Rocky Reynolds. LaBar's beside himself.
Rocky to his feet first. Can he capitalize? Wardlow is dazed. And Wardlow is down. Wardlow hit face first and Rocky could attempt to rebound here. Swinging neck breaker.
And Rocky Reynolds has to capitalize on this momentum. He has to take it to him. You don't stop Wardlow. You only slow him down.
And Rocky, he got Wardlow. He got the slam that time.
Joe, that might have torn every muscle in his back.
Well, it certainly took a lot out of Rocky Reynolds, but did it take more out of Wardlow? That's the question. Can Rocky get a cover here? Wait a second. Oh, Wardlow's not the only man in the ring that can specialize in a swanton. Rocky Reynolds with one of his own. LaBar on the apron. Come on, Rocky has the title on.
Well, he's actually telling him Wardlow actually owns the rights to the swanton.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, he's true. He's letting... Oh, no, wait a minute. Now, LaBar didn't do a thing. This is uncalled for, undeserved.
LaBar deserved it just for showing up. Beautiful.
Now, why was that deserved?
LaBar should mind his business. Wardlow with a boot. Oh, no. That fireman's carry. Swinging neck breaker. Cover. Another 1-foot pin.
all the time that I've seen Rocky Reynolds, I have never, ever seen something like that happen to him.
I've never seen Rocky Reynolds pinned with 1 foot. Never saw it for Gory, for Vegas, for Hentai, for DeMarco. But Wardlow's done it. And Wardlow continues to be unstoppable.
Can I go check on LeBar?
Please stay here.
But he's, I mean, right in the face.
I never thought I'd say this, but please stay close to me.
You're starting to like me, aren't you, Joe?
We'll go with that. Who's going to stop Wardlow? That's the question we continue to ask at IWC. And as of now, there is still absolutely no answer. Wardlow reigns supreme. I'm looking forward to this matchup. You want to talk about growing up in this business with intelligence around you, second generation? Rachel Ellering is the daughter of the manager of arguably the greatest tag team in the history of professional wrestling, the Road Warriors. I'm talking about Precious Paul Ellering, and Rachel Ellering is an individual who is very young in her career, I believe, maybe even under 2 years, but she has caught the independent wrestling world by storm. Her debut was November 21st, 2015, and speaking of catching the business by storm, you know who she was trained by? Lance Storm, and she's not an egomaniacal idiot about it like other people.
What are you trying to, wait a minute, what are you trying to say?
Nothing.
Who? Go ahead, say it.
Not Jim Neidhart, Lance Storm. And welcome to Pittsburgh.
Oh, big deal, Joe. You can read a sign. Way to go.
Brett Baker, the embodiment of the IWC Women's Division, successful over Ms. Katie Arquette a night ago. Steps in a battle once more. Britt Baker has won that championship and represented this company with pride, dignity, and class all the way. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I personally would have much rather seen a Katie Arquette be our IWC Women's Champion. But I will say that everybody that's gone in there, she has certainly represented not only women's wrestling, wrestling in general, the city, and IWC. And unfortunately, I'm still not allowed within 50 feet of her.
Let's go to London.
Introducing first is the challenger, from St. Paul, Minnesota. She is that one-woman Minnesota wrecking crew, Rachel Ellering. And her opponent, from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. She is the IWC Women's Champion, the mayor of Pittsburgh, Britt Baker.
Now, where does she find time to be mayor and be the IWC Women's Champion?
I think she scores great in the popularity polls as well. 100% approval rate, I understand.
No, I was thinking about running for mayor of Meadville.
Were you now?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, I was going to actually institute a policy, no ugly people out after 8, so the entire town will be shut down.
That's very insensitive. Rachel Ellering is actually a former powerlifter. Did you know that, BC Steel?
I actually did know that.
Well, then you'll be able to tell me that she was a 2014 bronze medalist for the World Powerlifting Federation.
Yes, she was. She almost won the silver.
Couldn't do without you, pal. Colin will tie up. Rachel Ellering is also the Wrestle Circus Lady of the Ring Championship. Had a chance to call a Rachel Ellering matchup down in Orlando a week ago for Wrestle Circus. Rachel Ellering is really getting all over the wrestling business as far as the independents. She has been in NXT. I saw her down in Charlotte, North Carolina a year ago at the Mid-Atlantic Legends Fan Fest. Rachel Ellering is on the radar of pretty much everybody that means something in professional wrestling. But so is Britt Baker.
I was just going to say that. You got to give credit to both of these ladies, both of them representing themselves very well. Although I will say, you know, we've seen with the experience game of Britt Baker going up against a rookie like Katie Arquette, and also having that power game, I might have to say that Britt Baker's outmatched power-wise here.
I would agree with you on that exchange, as Britt Baker has to be resourceful. And hey, Rachel Ellering has appeared in Shine, appeared in NXT. We've seen Britt Baker in Ring of Honor on Monday Night Raw. Shimmer, a number of others. Britt Baker's been literally coast to coast plying her trade, and that's not easy to do when you're only 18 months in the game or so.
Well, she's definitely ahead of the learning curve, so to speak. Both individuals are, no doubt about that.
Britt is intelligent, she is humble, and she is focused. And I don't know, and this is not a knock on anyone else in IWC past or present, I don't know if anybody's been more proud to wear their championship here in IWC than Britt Baker is of that IWC Women's Championship.
Well, you know, pride of Punxsutawney. I think it goes Punxsutawney, Phil, and her 1 and 2, or 2 and 1, depending on how you look at it.
Nice takedown. There you see some of that upper body strength that you touched on a moment ago. Could you imagine being a kid and your dad always carried around the Wall Street Journal, such an intimidating presence? Imagine the knowledge that he's dropped on his daughter just throughout her entire life. She's been born and bred to do this.
Well, I think it'd be certainly an honor to be around a man such as the great Paul Ellering, but imagine having the Road Warriors around. As your uncle being terrified, 2 giant monsters.
Yeah, they know something about power, don't they?
And you know, this is...
2 count only.
You know, both of these ladies have competed among the same places, and it's all well and good. But I got to ask you, Joe, where do we go to a point where it stops being a friendly competition to see who's the best, and we start to see thumbs to the eyes?
Hey, I don't think it's friendly in any respect. I don't think these girls are holding back, to say the least. That's Britt with a crossbody. Joe, I got a phone call. I got to go. A phone call? Is that your lawyer, Gomez, again? As Britt Baker in control for a moment. But, yeah, to BC Steele's point, I don't think there's any type of friendship here. This is fiercely competitive. And Ellering and Britt both go for a knockout strike. And they connect synchronistically. And interesting to note that, oh gosh, Ellering with a pump kick, and Britt, if she hadn't have held on to that top rope instinctively, then my God, she would have tumbled to that unprotected floor. An action going to the outside as tempers begin to flare even further. Rachel Ellering, if she uses that power, she's got the distinctive advantage. And Britt must be feeling like she's not in Bricksburg any longer. And this is a physical ordeal. Doing my best to follow it, ladies and gentlemen, but there are literally hundreds of heads blocking my view because this is a spillover crowd. This is the most nuts we have ever been here in Meadville, and we could not thank the town of Meadville enough for their support throughout the weeks and days leading up to this event. You can hear the fierce striking game. Second time now, as Britt is trying to survive on the floor. And I'm not sure who is the most advantageous outside the ring. Britt and Ellering certainly taking the scenic tour around this ring, but this is in no way pretty anymore. This is a down and dirty slugfest. Head of steam, look out. Oh! On the rebound with the thrust kick. And perhaps by the time we're all said and done, Meadville can become maybe an adopted territory of Bricksburg. Back into the ring they go. Britt attempting a cover, deep hook of the leg, only a count of 2. And 5 minutes has passed, but man, with the physicality, it must seem like an eternity for these athletes as Rachel with a pump kick. Britt was attempting a strike of her own, I believe. They may have made contact simultaneously again. Both athletes are down. It would be a shame if this title defense could end on a double count out. Who's going to get to their feet first? There will be a decisive advantage there. And it's Ellering up first, but can she capitalize? Shot to Baker, who is out on her feet. Britt responds in kind. And they're having trouble standing, but they're still firing away. And you can hear they're getting the most out of these strikes. Ellering again, that upper body power gives her an advantage. STO. That's a Rachel Ellering specialty. Going springboard, and Britt Baker meets her with a lung blower. Ellering came out of the corner, nowhere to go. And Britt on top, hook of the leg for 2. Amazing if history could be made. And we could crown a brand new IWC Women's Champion. Oh, gosh. Hard shot by Ellering, and Britt reciprocates with one of their own. And change of directions here. Watch. Britt, that discus form. That's put away many challengers. Will Rachel be one? No. My God. The intensity in this matchup is off the page. It's Rachel Ellering. Sidewalk slam, nicely done. Hard forearm shot, knife edge. And Ellering, the physicality just continues to escalate. And modified Uranagi suplex. What is this? Well, Paul Ellering never did this move, but I guess she's been studying her footage. Will it pay off? Not this time. Britt with a stunner. Look at this. Well, it's a little early to celebrate, young lady. We're having a good time in Meadville, but championship at stake. That could backfire. And it's Ellering with a cutter. We may have a new IWC Women's Champion. Springboard down with the leg. Cover, no. And maybe half a count or so away. But Britt fights on. Kick to the midsection. Up with a famouser. Britt Baker hooks the leg. No. And what a battle we are seeing. What an ultra competitive battle. One of the greatest women's matches in IWC history. Ellering to her feet, but Britt Baker charges in. In a second time. Ellering is dazed, but adjusts. Spinebuster. Ellering, near fall again. Gonna switch it midstream. That modified Rings of Saturn, call it what you will. Britt Baker used it a night ago, and it's successful again. Britt Baker once again holds her pride and joy in the IWC Women's Championship. Never seen a prouder representative of the International Wrestling Cartel. Britt the history-making first champion, and keeps that reign alive with a very hard-earned victory in Meadville, Pennsylvania, Night of Superstar 6. We are set for the IWC Super Indy Championship and most decorated Super Indy champion in the history of the International Wrestling Cartel, Big League John McChesney. 4 times he's been at the top of the mountain. He has a chance to do it for a 5th here tonight in front of the largest crowd in Night of Superstars Meadville history. John McChesney is focused. We thought McChesney would win the championship at 16, but controversy prevailed, which allowed us and necessitated us to have a special referee here this evening. McChesney, in the eyes of many, is the rightful champion now. Chris LaRusso, BC Steel, and certainly Bulk Nasty would disagree. The title would put McChesney on the map. He could come home 13 years after his first title win. I said 13, I believe it was 12 years. It was McChesney in low-key center of the ring. Super Indy 4 in 2005. This man, being led to the ring, was only starting his wrestling journey, only dreamed of one day being on such a stage. But 12 years later, Chris LaRusso walks in, the defending champion, and in his mind, the heir apparent of the successes, the legacy, the championship glory that IWC provides. Daniel Hooven at ringside in McChesney's corner. McChesney served as a mentor to Hooven ever since the month of January. Hooven and Bulk Nasty had their run in at 16, but is it going to be enough? You see a look of determination on the face of Chris LaRusso. Focus personified. Fresh off the Ring of Honor Top Prospect Tournament. LaRusso knows the eyes of the industry are on him. The pressure is mounting. Chris LaRusso with no choice but to deliver. With this music, I feel like channeling the spirit of Gary Michael Capetta, even though he's not even dead. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the special guest referee, and what an entrance this is going to be. It was 30 years and 1 week ago, March 29th, 1987, that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, in front of 93,173 fans in the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, Steamboat with George Steele by his side pinned the Macho Man Randy Savage in one of the most famous WrestleMania matches and moments of all time. Who will get their moment tonight in the Super Indy Championship match? A former NWA World's Champion. A rivalry with Ric Flair that lasted over 2 decades. And there will be no mistakes. There will be no errors. Ricky the Dragon has seen it all in his 40-plus years in the game. Let's go to the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the IWC Super Indy Championship. Introducing first, our special guest referee for this match, WWE Hall of Famer, Ricky the Dragon. Accompanied by Daniel Hooven from Indy, Pennsylvania, weighing 205 pounds. This man is the most decorated champion in IWC history. From legendary Big League, John And his opponent, accompanied by Benjamin C. Steele and Paul Maskey, going to Pennsylvania, weighing 180 pounds. This man is the reigning IWC Super Indy Champion, the Airport Chris
You can feel the big fight feel in the air. You can feel the pageantry of this Super Indy Championship match. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the guest referee of the matchup to crown the very first Impact Wrestling X Division champion in June of 2002. The man that won that championship that night is named AJ Styles. Steamboat is used to being in big match situations as a referee and certainly, to say the least, as a competitor. And Steamboat is very closely inspecting both athletes involved. Checking fingernails, checking the boots, checking everything. Ricky Steamboat is a traditionalist. He's from the old school. Steamboat wants a clear-cut winner. He wants it decided in the ring, wants it decided one-on-one. It would be great if Steamboat did not have to factor into this decision. But somebody's got to watch the back of McChesney for BC Steele and Bulk Nasty. And all due respect to Daniel Hooven, he's only one person. Bulk Nasty's the size of two people, and Benjamin C. Steele is one of the most sinister individuals I've ever met. He can only do so much. These fans have an inkling of what Bulk and BC Steele are all about. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat sounds for the bell, and McChesney and LaRusso circle. LaRusso has personified the Super Indy Championship for really about 6 months now. McChesney, through 4 reigns, was the face of the division for several years. LaRusso feels that to accomplish what he needs to eclipse the success of the likes of AJ Styles, Chris Sabin, Colt Cabana, Delirious, Corey Graves, DJ Z, and yes, John McChesney. LaRusso into the ropes. Steamboat asking for a break. McChesney obliges. McChesney seems to always have big nights here at Night of Superstars. Last year it was one-on-one with Jeff Jarrett. Another year it was teaming with Kevin Nash. Another year it was competing against the Steiner brothers. McChesney always steps up his game in big match situations, but it seems in Meadville he finds an even bigger, greater level. Pace quickens. McChesney deep underneath of LaRusso. And dare I say, with the man in the ring, McChesney with Steamboat-esque arm drags. Pretty in execution, precise in damage done. Knife edge chop, but nobody there. LaRusso with a go behind. Takes down John McChesney. A shot to the back of the head. LaRusso does not want to wrestle John McChesney, but LaRusso would like to out-resource John McChesney, out-connive John McChesney. Steamboat asking that the fist remains open, claiming McChesney's done the same. LaRusso's complaints, as of now, fall on deaf ears. LaRusso to the midsection. And again, LaRusso, a thinking man's wrestler, very cerebral. He just chopped John McChesney. Are you a fool? John McChesney, one of the most adept strikers in IWC history. He learned going to war with the best and the most intense in the game. LaRusso elevated and dropped down. McChesney on top. Only a count of one that time. Great championship instincts by LaRusso to get off the ground as quickly as possible. Don't want to keep your own shoulders on the mat any longer than you have to as McChesney gets a count of one again. Hard shot. As if any shot from McChesney is anything but hard. LaRusso up and over. Tries to adjust from the top, and McChesney beats him again. LaRusso's torso is changing colors as McChesney's on top for two. And Steamboat on top of the situation. McChesney will control a face-to-face striking game. LaRusso gets the knee up. Don't forget how adept LaRusso is at various types of martial arts. As LaRusso with the armbar takedown, on top for two. If there is a combat style and a dojo in existence, LaRusso has studied under it and been there. Top wrist block by LaRusso. LaRusso double handful of hair. Steamboat quick to question LaRusso about that. LaRusso had his own answer prepared, but we saw what happened. This LaRusso using the rope for unfair advantage. Steamboat requesting a break, and LaRusso breaks after four, manipulating the count of Mr. Steamboat all he can. LaRusso's great at using his surroundings to his advantage. Wait a second, cradle here. Who's going to get on top? Nobody. McChesney tried to fight out, and LaRusso back to the arm. You got to believe the damage LaRusso has done to that arm impeded McChesney from getting as tight a hook as he wanted on that cradle attempt. McChesney just trying to create distance, fight away from LaRusso any way he can. LaRusso now on McChesney. Able to get the head underneath the jaw and a picture bumper chop kick. McChesney gets great elevation every time and a near fall. McChesney trying to shake some feeling back into that arm. And LaRusso switches directions. He has the arm trapped and what looks to be a modified crossface on McChesney. McChesney is not near enough the ropes. McChesney could tap away the Super Indy Championship that made him famous. LaRusso is stretching. He is torquing. He is putting every bit of energy and he can in bending away at the body of McChesney. And McChesney just barely gets to a rope. Steamboat demanding a break and quickly. Steamboat knows the dangers of a submission move like that. He did not milk the count. Steamboat wanted the hold released immediately. LaRusso with no choice but to oblige, as now the heir apparent goes to take a chance. And McChesney able to send LaRusso in the most precarious predicament. From way up high, big Chesney superplex. It's a Hail Mary from the challenger. Is it enough? No. Steamboat assuring McChesney it was only two, but perhaps John can feel hope, a sign of life now. Moving at ringside, cheering McChesney on. And LaRusso gets a knee up. Man caught McChesney around the temple. Back to the arm. Hammerlock takedown. LaRusso on top, hook of the leg. LaRusso less than half a count away. And even LaRusso cannot believe that was not enough to stop John McChesney. But men have been trying to stop John McChesney for over a decade, but more often than not, Big League perseveres. Power on the 10 perhaps. McChesney. Look out. Cliffhanger DDT. We saw McChesney pull this out at the 16th anniversary. Will this be out? Hey, BC Steel's got Steamboat. And Hooman's got BC Steel. Bolt Nasty in the ring. Protecting his meal ticket. Wait a minute, Steamboat. Steamboat unloads on Bolt Nasty. Those lethal knife edge chops. And a big wind-up. Thrust pick by McChesney. Steamboat ain't no nonsense referee. LaRusso from behind. Big Chesney caught LaRusso. Second time. Big Chesney on top. World champion! History has been made in Meadville, Pennsylvania! For the first time in a decade! And for the 5th time in his life, John McChesney is Super Indy champion! The road to prominence started for McChesney this way! 12 years ago in humble McKeesport, Pennsylvania. But in front of a packed rockin' house, McChesney comes back where he came from and wins it all. And what an honor to be presented that championship by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, a Hall of Famer through and through. And with his buddy Daniel Hooven there to celebrate with him, there's got to be no greater feeling for John McChesney. The man that won Super Indy 4 is the man when it comes to Super Indy once again. And you can talk about your heir apparent, you can talk about your legacy, but John McChesney's story is not done being written yet. obnoxious and narcissistic RJ City turned over a bit of a new leaf when he left Justin Lamar and went out on his own and actually challenged Wardlow for the IWC Championship. But from what I understand, RJ still is not a big fan of Meadville. Oh no. Please stop the pain. Get the hook. Is there a gong around here somewhere? Thank you. Is a former two-time Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. And maybe a little bit more panache, a little more charisma, a little more relatability than RJ City, who thinks he's better than the city of Meadville. And not that great a singer either. Well, Mr. Anderson is waiting for the mic to drop. There is no microphone in the ceiling of the Meadville School. Hate to break it to you. How are we going to solve this conundrum? He's not taking it well. Hold on here. This could get violent for Lendl. This is good news for anybody. Anderson's hot. What an idiot. This feels vaguely familiar to me. Not sure why. We got where we needed to go.
That was freaking boring. Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is game over. One fall. I weigh 235 1/4 pound. I hail from Green Bay, Wisconsin!
Hey, RJ City from behind. RJ City is assaulting Mr. Ken Anderson and gave Anderson no time to get out of the blocks. Anderson still introducing himself to these fans, and RJ City, I think, is upset that he was shown up. Mocking Anderson now. RJ City thinks he's the coolest guy in the room, and I think that is, to say the least, not just debatable, flat out untrue. And Anderson explodes out of the corner. And a deep scoop. Hard slam, RJ down. Anderson with the elbow follow through. RJ City wants nothing more of Mr. Anderson. Hey, we got there. No one stops a Ken Anderson introduction and gets away with it. And now Anderson goes to work on RJ City on the outside of the ring, as RJ's done himself no favors infuriating Ken Anderson in the early going of this contest. As Anderson sends RJ City the small of the back into the edge of that ring frame. Metal edge and wood there, nothing that feels good. Not that feels much better. Oh, and RJ to the odds. RJ with a shortcut, a cheap shot. Give himself some momentary reprieve, but RJ now to the midsection of Anderson. Anderson with a knee. Up and over, sunset flip. Could this do it? No. And RJ got the elbow. Hard right hand. Second time, and RJ City hanging Anderson up on that top rope. Boot straight to the temple. Again, RJ City's going to be looking for him. Knee Arthur, which is his B. Arthur resembling knee pad to the skull. Couldn't make this up if I tried, folks. As Anderson being punished. I just hope RJ City does not get an opportunity to finish that song he was crooning out before this matchup started. For the ride, and Anderson, you can see the impact, a whiplash-like effect as Anderson comes sprawling out of the corner. RJ City gets two. It's been a methodical pace thus far from RJ City, Mr. Entertainment. Now cinching in the reverse chin lock on Ken Anderson. Focusing on where the ramus of the mandible articulates with the mandibular fossa of the temporal bone. Trying to shut the lights out for the two-time world champion. Crowd rallies behind Anderson, who gets to his feet. Breaks the grasp. Duck of the clothesline, duck of the elbow. Anderson, oh! You can sense Anderson may have been attempting to build some momentum there, but RJ City shuts things down with a straight knee to the midsection. And a charismatic neckbreaker counter, backslide, Anderson on top, 2-0. And RJ gets the neckbreaker the second time. Doesn't waste time that time around. You can tell. RJ on top on a near fall for the Ethel Merman of IWC Wrestling. Hard kick to the spine. Anderson in a bad way. RJ zeroing in on Anderson. Over top of him, riding him, making Anderson carry not just Anderson's body weight, but RJ City's as well. Anderson's going to expend so much more energy if he's able to get off the canvas here. But that's a big if at this point. RJ with that wide base, that center of gravity, and great ring positioning on Ken Anderson as well. Anderson is nowhere near the rope. RJ, unsurprisingly, still running his mouth. And RJ is trying to take the crowd out of this thing. Trying to shut the momentum down for good for Anderson, but Anderson to a vertical base. He breaks the grip. And for the rod, Anderson, not sure if that was spit or gum or a tooth, but Anderson hit the buckle hard. And the running, jumping slap to the face. Anderson is the least amused of the bunch, as you might suspect. Far close line. And a back elbow. And that was the worst thing RJ City could have done because he woke Ken Anderson up. And there's a paintbrush job of his own. Second time. And Anderson, a neckbreaker a la zone. On top of RJ for 2. Anderson elevates RJ City. Could be that Finley roll he likes to use. RJ out of the way, gets the boot up. And it's RJ City going to take a chance. Second turnbuckle on the inside. Anderson not going to wait to see what's next. Needless to say, that did not feel good. Anderson, the fireman's carry. Finley roll coming. Anderson on top. He's got him, no. Near fall. There's still no mic up there, Ken. There we go. That's what we're signaling for. If Anderson hits the mic check, this matchup will be over. RJ elbows his way free. Anderson sent Sterling first into the buckle. Anderson tried to put the brakes on, but RJ momentarily overpowered him. And RJ has lowered the knee pad. He has exposed knee Arthur. And if knee Arthur meets Ken Anderson, this match could be over. Anderson sidesteps. Roll up, no. RJ escapes. Anderson and his team. B. Arthur countered. Anderson. Mic check. With authority. Hook of the leg. Mr. Anderson victorious. And on top, RJ City will not get to finish his solo tonight in Meadville. Mr. Anderson steals the spotlight from RJ City, and I guess Ken Anderson wants the last word. This could take a while. No, we'll just go through it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a winner of this match from Green Bay. This is not about the Packers right now, okay? It's about me and you. This is about me and you, baby. Hey, I'm not judging. You know what? I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing myself talk. Hey, are you trying to get me in trouble? Look, so I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing myself talk. So maybe one of you guys can give me a hand.
Lord knows Lendl and Kitch need help.
Is there anybody out there worthy of coming in this ring and helping me out? I can't freaking hear you! I still can't hear you! No, y'all suck. Good night.
I miss her!
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Pakistani out here in Ohio, and my man is the visitor coming here tonight.
Hang on, we gotta say that. We gotta say that. That's right here. Boom. So we go a little something like this. Here, let's start this way. See that camera right there? You want to hold the microphone? Oh, geez, is there anything else you bring?
The
winner of the match.
Winner of this match
From
BFG Master
guest of honor for the evening, the brand new WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. They shocked the world at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, Florida, and they've been the talk of the wrestling universe ever since. What a moment to have about them in IWC just 6 days following being on the grandest stage in our industry. Every person in this building is standing. It was a rough road to even get the Hardys into Meadville, Pennsylvania, but they are here. And these fans could not be happier. And they brought the titles.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you this evening? Just in case you guys didn't catch WrestleMania last Sunday. That's right, myself and Brother Nero. We walked into WrestleMania and returned to the WWE and left as the Raw World Tag Team Champions. Typically when you go to WWE and you sign a contract and you win a championship, you're not allowed to come do cool events like this. And I love doing things like this. I've been to the IWC several times. I love it here. The International Wrestling Cartel is a delightful promotion. And we wanted to build this prior booking we had before, so we asked Mark Carano to Triple H, to Vince McMahon, and they let us come here, so we are here, and I thank you for that. Thank you, WWE. So then, come here and appear and sign autographs today and meet all you guys, we had to find a substitute for our match. Now, considering the book tonight is going to be broken, I'm going to let the nefarious Brother Nero decide what type of match the fraternity will be fitting the tag team titles in.
Brother Nero's got the power. Fate of the fraternity in the hands of the Hardys.
This next match, the rules have officially been broken. With that said, there's got to be some cool objects under the ring, right?
Never know what's under an IWC ring. Down a chair. Oh my. That is quite obviously a table.
That table is going to hurt. It's stiff. Let's see what else. Who feels like climbing? The Hardys over here. Oh no.
Oh my. And Jeff has found a ladder.
I think that's enough to do some damage. Okay, you guys ready?
I hate to interrupt this little WrestleMania hangover,
fraternity involvement.
Because I know you two folks are so broke you couldn't even afford the damn thing. But there's nothing more pathetic than a couple 40-year-olds trying to relive their glory days.
Wow.
Stop!
Can we delete his microphone?
These people may chant broken and delete. But the only thing broken about you two is your integrity. Hey, at least we're wrestling tonight. And you guys are probably lucky that the WWE wouldn't allow you to perform tonight. Because you used to be all of these folks' idols. Heck, you used to be Team Extreme. But now, you're just Vince's bitch. I'm telling you.
What a cute little joke. Too bad you're not telling them never wait for this speak behind. I think I know what this crowd wants to see tonight. They want to see a tag team of our choosing. Delete you! What time do you choose? Ladies and gentlemen, the Headless Horseman, come on down!
Because it's the not harmless, you only know that wearing the mask is never fun.
Well, let's see the selected tag team that the Hardys have found to fill a very big void on this card, let's be honest. Well, the mood just changed. That's the New Age Plague Gory, that's the Reaper, Matt Connor behind him. They're known as the Headless Horsemen. IWC fans are very familiar with Gory. Matt Connor, not so much, but these men have terrorized wrestling organizations all over the tri-state area. As we bring in Benjamin C. Steele to comment on this revelation, BC Steele, you know the intimidation factor. You know the success of the Headless Horseman. Hell, Matt Hardy has gone to war against the Headless Horseman before.
Well, absolutely, and partially out here against my choosing. I'm not very happy. Address that at a later day. The Frat has their work cut out for them.
Do Gory and Connor have what it takes to delete the fraternity?
Brother Nero, now that the Headless Horsemen are here to face these two obsolete youths, what will be the fate of the fraternity? Oh, it's easy. They'll fade away and classify themselves as obsolete. 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 IWC
Well, Matt and Jeff Hardy have set the stage. Tag Team Championship. Apparently, we're going to see tables, we're going to see ladders, we're going to see chairs. And you get the endorsement from one of the greatest tag teams of all time, Matt and Jeff Hardy. and the fraternity from behind. It's Decker on Gory. It is Gibson on Connard. We are underway. IWC Championships at stake. Benjamin C. Steele, will we see a deletion of the fraternity?
Well, hopefully, things for Champions Night have not gone, obviously, as designed, as planned, as everybody had planned, but
Horseman put the brakes on.
this night could be saved with the fraternity retaining the tag team champion.
Gory with the knees, Connor with a clothesline. Headless Horsemen have only teamed once in IWC before under a clear failed event. And Gory uses Connor as a springboard, bit of a poetry in motion there.
And Joe, a lot of times we give the edge to the fraternity for as long as they've been tag teaming, but the Headless Horsemen might have been a team just as long.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this once again, Matt Hardy has gone to war and other organizations against the Headless Horsemen. He knows how dangerous they are. They have fought over tag team gold in the past.
Well, definitely no strangers to being in this situation. Maybe not against the frat, but when it comes to big money matchups, Matt Connard and Gory are no strangers to it.
No.
And who makes these matches?
What do you mean? The Hardys were given power to choose the replacements.
Yeah, but why? I didn't get to choose the referee in the Super Indy title match. I don't get any power. I want to talk to somebody.
Matt chose the team and Jeff chose the stipulation. I mean, it's their spot that's being filled. Why wouldn't they?
Ah, shut up.
What's wrong with you?
I'm a little salty right now with what's wrong with me. I'm not having a good night, and I'm sore. And now Decker and they're all sore too.
Thank you for participating. Decker and Gibson not feeling much better than you are right now. You need to sit down. You're going to have a heart attack.
You're not getting me upset, all right?
What did I do?
Put him up.
No, get out of here. Gory and Connard going for a double suplex through the table, and Gibson saves his buddy.
And you saw that look of frustration and a little bit of confusion from the Headless Horseman.
Well, I thought the table was going to be there to incapacitate Channing Decker, but nothing doing. That's a total frat move, I guess.
I guess you could say they deleted it.
No, they didn't. It's right over there.
Well, no, you're pushing my buttons.
They don't delete things. That's not what they do.
No, they party like bros.
Where's Senor Benjamin when you need him? I wish he came.
Well, you don't have
Well, wait a second. Talk about the TLC tradition. Concerto, but nobody there. Connor out of the way.
And the reverberation that shoots into that chair off your fingers, it can break a finger or two, no doubt.
Oh, double clothesline, both frat members to the floor. And Connor is feeling it.
And I'll tell you, Connard and Gory are a little bit sick, a little bit twisted, a little bit out there.
A little bit.
Hey, perfect for the Hardys, of course.
Gory's been broken for half a decade now.
Obsolete mules and tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my!
Gory flies. The Tope Carrillo connects.
How is this fair to the Fred? They were game planning for the Hardys.
Would you like to call WWE legal and take up that fight? I mean, I can't do anything about it.
Well, I've got some legal prowess myself. I know an attorney.
Call McDevitt. Greg Gomez can talk to Jerry McDevitt. How about that? We'll figure that out.
Well, you know what? I'm filing a personal complaint with him.
With who?
Yes.
Oh, get out of here. Channing Decker's in a bad way right now. Gibson's still hurt, maybe on the floor. Inverted atomic drop. And Gibson just pulled the leg of Gory.
And I'll tell you, from our vantage point, I think Gory was going to run Decker through the back of that table.
That's something Gory would do. He's sadistic, he's animalistic, he's bloodthirsty. But watch Decker. Oh, chair to the head.
Well, I'll tell you, I've suffered that. We've talked about Gory before on that mist. I've suffered that before myself. My right cornea still flutters every now and then because of it.
Connor had no chance to attempt to protect himself. Steal off the skull. Fraternity takes over.
And you know what? I got to hand it to the fraternity. The situations were changed. They were thrown into this. People given power that they shouldn't have had, and the fraternity still comes out here fighting, still taking it to them. You got to give that to them. Go ahead.
Let's not act like the fraternity are like sympathetic figures here, okay? How they ran their mouths, how they manipulated the situation for months, how they screwed McChesney and Hooven out of the tag titles a couple of times.
Oh yeah, you got to bring him up, don't you? You just got to poke the bear.
Oh, double suplex. I believe Connor landed on one of those chairs. Pinpoint precision by the fraternity for two, and they have divided and conquered here. They've isolated Connor from Gory.
Well, that's a good thing to do. That's a smart thing, a smart tag team maneuver. You know, with Conrad and Gory, it's almost like they draw their power from one another. And if you can get them apart, get them not working on the same page, that's a total frat move.
Bro.
You're not allowed to say bro. You weren't in a fraternity.
Well, you're not allowed to delete things.
I'm going to delete you from this broadcast. I can do this myself.
I'd love to see you try. LaRusso and Bulk going out here. They got bigger problems.
You know, it's funny. These people want tables. Well, they're not going to want tables when Conrad and Gory are throwing through them, do they?
I would suggest not.
Well, that's what I want. I want tables now, too.
Well, the frat have a table.
You know, of course, the fraternity is normally...
Wait a second. What are they doing?
Well, they told them to go to another show. They're not going to engage in this. They're world-class wrestlers.
Yeah, there's no other show to go to. IWC's the place to be, but...
Hey, if the fraternity is used to setting up tables to do some beer pong or some beer shots or the other games that the drinking games that kids play nowadays.
I see. Well, Gory in trouble now again. The body and concrete continuing. Gory hits the corner. The elbow up. And Gory gonna fly here. Whisper in the wind! Oh, you know one of Gory's idols was growing up, but it wasn't enough. Cover on... And again, really no tags. Everybody's legal. You can pin whoever you want.
Well, Joe, this could go all over the place. But I'm telling you, if they're coming over here, you're working alone because I'll be gone.
I think I can manage. Oh, Gory hits hard. Gory bounces off of that turnbuckle.
And we just saw that. The frat's in control right now, Joe.
A collision that was reminiscent of a car wreck. And Decker with a ladder.
Well, we're going to see the L in the TLC.
Very good. You know letters.
I know a lot of... Well, you got most of the letters in your last name. We're running out of them. You know, all this chanting of delete and calling them obsolete mules is just going to anger the frat.
Maybe it will. Or it'll get in their head. But right now, the fraternity are in full control. And the fraternity who lost the tag team titles in this building a year ago are determined not to two-peat bad luck.
Well, that was because at the hands of Stevie Ray, Booker T.
Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower in a TLC match.
Well, they had those in France.
Oh, your fault. But you know as well as I do how difficult it is to stop Gory, how hard it is to defeat this man, because Gory is just, it's almost like he's not human.
Well, absolutely. You know, like I said before, he's got that little bit of sadistic look to him. He's a little bit off. You know, sometimes you look into somebody's eyes and you know they're just not quite right.
Guys, he's infected with evil.
He's infected with a lot of things, and hopefully the frat keeps their distance.
Well, Decker putting on the pressure now. Slam to Gory. And Gibson and Decker are in their own world right now. They are currently dominating the Hardys selected team in the Hardys specialty match. They are on top of the world.
Oh, Joe, look at that. It's like I'm watching the Hardy Boys when I see the... Well, he missed it, but it's...
Yeah, so it's not like the Hardys at all, is it? They actually do it properly. And Gory out on his feet. He doesn't know where he is. Here comes Gibson. Oh, chair to the skull! Gory was waiting in the wings for Gibson to come in. Now a cover. Got him no.
Well, there may have been a little bit of playing possum there by Gory. You know, I'm hoping that the frat didn't take this lightly.
I'm hoping they don't either, but you know how they think. They think they're the best tag team here. They feel like they don't even need to prove it half the time.
Well, Joe, they're right. Name a more decorated tag team here tonight. You can't.
Here tonight? What? The Hardys are here.
Yeah, but they're not decorated like the frat. You know, see, they don't have the cool little...
They're World Tag Team Champions now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but if they would have been in there against the frat would have defeated them for the tag title.
I feel like that was their 8th World Tag Team title reign, maybe. It's hard to compare. Conrad elbowing his way free from the frat. Counter with the ladder. Ladder thrusted into both frat members. Oh, we got some Terry Funk action. Swinging ladder to the skull.
Watch out, Bobby Williams. You could be next.
Connor may do this forever.
And ever.
I love it.
I thought he was going to take off like a helicopter there for a second.
Got both frat members down.
Now, Joe, when in wrestling school do you learn that?
You don't learn that, you just feel it. And Connor is feeling more intense than I've ever seen in his career. Inverted atomic drop. Gory. Fan Dominator variation. Double pin. Decker with a save.
Joe, it was 2. Don't worry, it was 2. Decker made the save. Don't worry.
I just said that.
I know, but you're...
Is it bad that I want to see the fraternity lose?
Yeah, it's horrible. What did they ever do to you? Did they not let you join? Did they haze you?
Oh, please.
Make you hang upside down?
Oh, Gory got a little hungry.
This isn't a TLC.
That's not his beer pong hand, is it? Chair shot. Lung blower. My God. Gets into his feet. Connor, that Gory special. And here comes another Gory. Lung blower. Gory's all around. Double pin. Got it. No. Oh, close can you be? The Horsemen thought they had it.
And I mean, look at that look on Connor and Gory's face. I mean, absolute shock. They put, IWC fans may not be familiar with it, but they put away a number of individuals with that.
Half a second away from history.
Well, Joe, we've seen the L, and we've seen the C, and the only thing left is the T.
And that could be the weapon to silence the fraternity.
We got a TLC and IWC, and all the frat wants is some RESPECT.
Well, they're not going to get it the way they act. Maybe if they survive this, and maybe if they survive this, that's a big maybe. Because the Horsemen are looking for a body count. Into the ladder, into the chair, and as you so astutely mentioned, only 1/3 of that equation left.
And you're going to watch out for that ladder, too. It seems to be fraying or flat out broken to make a pun at the top.
And of course, Broken Matt Hardy would have a broken ladder match. And Gory is climbing. Oh, this is so dangerous. Gory keeps going higher. Oh, wait a second. Oh, the frat paddle. Oh, Gory lost his balance. Oh, Gory through the table. Decker with that paddle. Fraternity with a cover. Damn.
Yes. 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 Yes, Joe. Do you feel it?
Well, they did it. They survived.
Still, your IWC Tag Team Champions, the greatest tag team this company has ever seen, the greatest tag team in the history of tag team wrestling, the fraternity in your stupid face.
Are you not going to acknowledge the fact that on a number of occasions, the Headless Horseman, Gory and Connor, were less than half a second away from altering the future of IWC with a victory?
Well, Joe, there's no doubt about it. They were close, but unless we're playing horseshoes or hand grenades, close doesn't get the job done.
Fraternity survived TLC. They survived the hand-picked opponents of the Broken Hardys. Broken Matt and Brother Nero do not get the last word in Meadville. Can you believe it?
It's like my birthday came early. It almost makes up for the loss a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we got to talk about that still.
No.
Fraternity retained the championships, but as much as they all admit Gory and Connor, not my kind of people, we don't trade Christmas cards, but I feel for them. This was a moment for them, but unfortunately, the fraternity were just a little bit more resourceful. It is main event time, and with Canadian representatives on the way, it's only right that we give the country of Canada equal time in the broadcast booth.
Representing Calgary, Alberta, Canada, at a combined weight of 691 pounds, Jackson Orders, Varsity Dupree,
I was about to announce you, but we have to lay out for the ring announcer so we're not talking over each other when it sounds garbled.
Yeah.
It'd be like somebody eating an apple on the air. You wouldn't be able to understand anything they're saying.
God forbid we have a separate audio line. What kind of cockamamie production is this? You
Okay.
know where I come from, on CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, they have none of these issues.
All right. I'd like to introduce, pleasure to be joined by the affable and pleasant RJ City.
Pleasure to be here.
You have not had a good night.
No, I have not had a good night. I have a goose egg from a microphone that was thrown at me by, what's his name, Mr. Havisham?
Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Anderson.
You also have a goose egg in the wind column.
Yeah, I have a big zero there, but you know what? They heard me sing, and I feel like this audience understands that I was the superior entertainer, and that I was wrong.
If you can keep repeating yourself that on the whole way home?
Yeah.
Cool.
That'd be great.
Cool.
So what is this, like a wrestling match or something?
Jack Pollock, Jackson Argos, RC Dupree, they are Team Canada. They were all trained by Lance Storm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And as a result, they've been a brotherhood. And they have made life miserable for Andrew Pallas over the past several months. Pallas had a chance to rid IWC of Team Canada in December. That's when we first saw Jack Pollock make his appearance, and Jack Pollock, he ended up putting his name on the contract with Argos and Dupree, and they have been overbearing and obnoxious ever since.
Jack Pollock is very, very unique. You don't see a wrestler who's such a great abstract painter at the same time, so I think it's fantastic.
I think you're thinking of someone else.
Ed Harris?
So it's RC Dupree on the second turnbuckle with the Canadian flag that he needs to unwind, and it's Argos and Pollock in the ring as we meet the opponents in this handicap match.
I tell you something, when I hear a handicap match, I think of Andrew Pallas.
You have a checkered history with Andrew Pallas as well, don't you?
He has a checkered history himself, namely in his underwear. He could use a good washing. I'm not a fan of him or his goggles or his front row follies. He seems to have an ardent gaggle of supporters.
Yeah, how dare he have fans? The nerve. Well, you won't say anything to Pallas with this guy watching his back. Big hungry on the way to the ring.
You know, when Ryback walks out of the entranceway, bangs his head, and he yells, "Wake up," which is, of course, a reference to the Everly Brothers and one of his favorite songs, "Wake Up, Little Susie."
Can we get that fact checker back up on the screen?
I didn't want to tell any tales out of school, but that seems to be what the story is.
Hashtag wake up little Susie if you're tweeting at home. But we got a couple of interesting representatives of the United States, don't we?
Yes, of course. I would be remiss if I mentioned Ryback has a Jewish nephew named Cyback. Of course, his chant is "Feed me kosher," but it didn't really catch on.
What are you talking about?
Let's get back to the match, shall we?
Stop pounding your water on the table. The mic is picking this up. Sword probably has a busted eardrum now. God, you're so difficult.
He's a better man for it.
Think it's feeding time?
You know what? Well, what do you think the chemistry is between Ryback and Pallas? I mean, they've never teamed together, and they're going against a hardy and seasoned unit.
I think they just speak in a series of primitive grunts and somehow still understand each other.
That seems about right.
Well, Ryback, last night in Wheeling, West Virginia, he said it was feeding time tonight, and it didn't matter how many members of Team Storm there were. Argos and Dupree were put through a table a night ago. Argos is walking around on a crutch the rest of the night. So
That's an injustice, and he's a hero, and my hat's off to him.
A hero to who? He denounced his whole hometown yesterday.
Yeah, well, like you should. It's a part of growing up. It's a part of, adolescence.
He's not an adolescent, first of all. Second of all, I don't think part of growing up is turning your back on all your friends and family.
Well, I'll tell you something. He has new friends. He has his new family. And those are the two men standing in the corner with him right now.
Do you think Lance Storm is proud of the actions of Pollock, Argos, and Dupree?
How can you not be? They're polished, they're very smooth, and they function together.
Argos wearing that Rookie of the Year shirt, stuffed that Palafox. As Pollock and Palace go one-on-one. They met a night ago in a number one contendership matchup. Palace came up on the upper hand.
See, that's wrong. That's a little braggadocious of Palace to egg this guy on. Now, he's a big showboater, this Palace fellow.
Pollock's only blemish in his IWC record is thanks to Palace. Aggressive tie-up as Palace tries to muscle Pollock back into the corner. Well, I'll say this about Team Storm. I've said for quite a while, Jack Pollock probably the most underrated talent based in this part of the country.
Yeah, look at the lats on him. I'm sure Ryback is terrified.
I don't think much scares Ryback, but Pollock certainly knows how to get the job done. I've seen Pollock in many big match situations, and he always brings his best to the table, and he sometimes brings Dupree and Argos to the table also, unfortunately.
Well, that's what they brought to the table. Ryback wants to eat. This is what lays before him. I saw Ryback last summer at a pop-up shop at Six Flags getting his tights airbrushed.
Is that so?
Yeah. He got a Daffy Duck with a gold tooth. I thought that was an odd choice.
That was. I thought he might have gotten the Everly Brothers. But be that as it may, Pollock with a go-behind on Palace. Palace able to reverse into a drop toe hold into a side headlock. Do you have any references from this century?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Lest we forget the wonderful Dick Cavett.
You realize that, we started a new century 17 years ago?
Yeah, and it sucks.
Palace with a takedown on Pollock. Second time. Does anybody bring more energy to the ring than Andrew Palace?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to suggest somebody?
Well, you don't have to be ranting and raving, jumping around and yelling. You could do more like Jackson Argos, a little more subdued, a little more subtle, but nevertheless very engaging.
Palace's strategy worked when he beat you.
It was a bit of a Ponzi scheme. Oh, no.
A Ponzi scheme? No Ponzi scheme here with Ryback.
How brave of Ryback to only get in the ring when the man is down.
That's when Palace tagged him. What did you want him to do?
What a tough guy.
I'm going to tell Ryback you said that.
In the synagogue, they call him the Big Goy.
Argos is standing up to Ryback. Argos, he's all grown up now. He's getting a little big for his britches. Oh, no.
There we go.
Oh, no.
The shirt is off. What are you going to do about it, Ryback, huh? Look at him, terrified.
As far as Argos didn't tear a muscle, tearing his shirt off.
Oh.
And Argos downstairs. Are you kidding me?
Look at the power. Oh.
What an idiot.
Get ready for the... Oh, Lord. Oh, my.
I oftentimes don't believe Argos lives on the same planet as I do.
Look at the athleticism of Argos. That didn't turn out like he had hoped.
Yeah, you think? And in comes the eccentric artist, R.C. Dupree.
I tell you, Ryback loves to... Oh.
And R.C. tastes the canvas quickly, artist or not. And R.C. Dupree behind.
Much quicker than the, dare I say, plodding Ryback. And now we go back to the suplex. Smart okay.
Why is that smart?
Look at the athleticism. He's doing a handstand on the man's shoulder.
No, he isn't.
You don't see that every day.
See that in every Ryback match. 15 seconds and down. Blood rushing to the brain. Equilibrium thrown off.
Ryback loves conducting the audience. Of course, one of his greatest influences is the legendary Lawrence Welk.
Ryback is 288 pounds. Why would you try to elevate him off his feet? That was a rhetorical question. There's really no good answer.
Oh, no.
Jack Pollock back in.
There we go.
Pollock's about 6'4", 220 or 30. He may have the best chance at matching up to Ryback physically, and I emphasize chance.
And he's got chest hair. That should throw Ryback off.
What does that mean?
Well, you're not ready for a guy like that. It rubs on you, you feel a little weird about it. Then he takes advantage.
So Pollock's going to make Ryback. Oh, slam!
Did you see that?
Nicely done, Pollock. That's a much better strategy than, quote, making him feel all weird.
I believe he'll be showing this clip to his grandkids. How many times have you seen Ryback slam?
And now another suplex.
Oh.
Why do you keep doing this? Count along at home.
These are fast counts. These aren't even full set. Where's the Mississippi? This is a scam.
One of them Ponzi schemes.
It's another Ponzi scheme.
I think we're all going at a different pace at this point.
Okay.
Can we agree that we're over 30? Over 30 seconds in the suplex? And Pollock is down. Head changing colors to a no.
His counting tempo is so fast because he's such a Lawrence Welk fan.
I'm sure there's someone in the world that understands that reference, and it's probably just our guessing.
He was actually hoping they would count and a 1 and a 2.
Tag back into Palace. And a 1 and a 2 strikes. Back elbow connects. Palace into the cover.
But, this is very disrespectful. Ryback's taking his sweet time getting out of the ring, not respecting the rules at all. Show a little consideration.
There was no 5 count.
Seems very lackadaisical.
When did you become Mr. Manners all of a sudden?
I tell you, this Ryback fella, I'm going to say it. He's got a bit of an attitude.
Says the guy that back jumped Mr. Anderson earlier.
I was assaulted.
If you say so. You were outclassed on the microphone. He out-entertained you. Nobody wanted to hear your Ethel Merman or whatever else you got.
I'd like to see Mr. Anderson sing Gilbert and Sullivan and see how these people like him then.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm sure we'll all buy a ticket to see that. Argos had a hold of Ryback's leg. I think Ryback felt a fly land on him.
Oh, no.
And that's where you take advantage of the temper of
Ryback is
Ryback.
not too swift, let me tell you.
Well, Ryback is a bit of an angry individual. Team Storm taking advantage. It is 3-on-1 behind the back of the official.
That's right. It seemed like Ryback forgot the rules of a tag match.
Well, it seemed like he got his temper flared because Team Storm was trying to get in his head.
I like how Ryback has his face on the back of his tights in case you forget what he looks like.
And Pollock has neutralized Andrew Palace from Ryback as Team Storm begins to attempt to cut off the ring at a hypotenuse, and Palace is surrounded by all sides. And Pollock using Argos as an offensive weapon.
They've created, dare I say, an equilateral triangle. Each man serving a very effective purpose.
All right, now you're just forcing the geometry on us.
I think you're kind of acute.
That's terrible.
Thank you.
And in comes RC Dupree. RC getting ahead of steam. And RC is an offensive weapon.
Palace reminds me of a protractor. In the beginning, you see it and you think, well, this is cool. And then you see what it does and you're like, well, this is a total waste of time.
Cover, 2 count. Is that how you feel about protractors?
Mine was very expensive in grade 6.
All right, learned a lot about the Canadian education system. Is that why Team Pollock are so smart? They spent the time up in Canada training with Storm, and they kind of embraced some of the education up there?
Oh, absolutely. Wonderful education system, free healthcare, which they took advantage of. Bilingual, all 3 of them can speak French, and I think they speak it to each other so Ryback and Palace can hear. Very sound, as they say in French, a strategie.
Do they really say that?
Sometimes, I've heard it sometimes.
I see. Ryback forced back into his corner as Palace again, you can sense the momentum sway further and further towards Team Storm as the lights may be beginning to go out on Andrew Palace.
Look at how insecure Ryback is. Please clap for me. Please love me, love me. Look at the bands on my arm.
Palace with a jawbreaker. Insecure connects.
But I'll tell you though, because Pollock has that chest hair, it padded his fall.
What are you talking
He'll be up in a jiffy, don't worry about it.
Why don't you have chest hair then if you're such a big fan?
I have skin disorder.
Pollock pulls Palace
There we go.
back into the corner. Palace was reaching for Ryback, couldn't get there in time.
A fresh man, a fine elbow drop. Another one.
This is the Jackson 5, RJ.
You stick with what works. That one was Tito.
And got the fifth one off. And Argos. Palace is still inching away from Argos towards Ryback. Not sure if Argos got all he wanted on that fifth Jackson. Here comes
Well,
Pollock.
I gotta say, Jackson has been giving him a Joe Jackson-like thrashing.
I see what you're doing. Pollock now in the reverse chin lock.
Yeah, and don't forget the chest hair on the back of his head.
Yeah, and that beard too.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair going on. Plus, Palace's own hair. There's all this hair. He must be saying, "What is this?" It throws you off.
I feel like Palace is used to his own hair.
You'd think so.
I would think so, yes.
Sometimes when my hair is out, I feel like it's someone is behind me. It frightens me.
Pollock with a knee. Very unique insight here.
Wow.
John Madden of wrestling, as RJ said.
Working the midsection here. Where's my nice electrical bend?
Palace in a bad way at this point. Nowhere near Ryback. Oh, wait, roll up! Roll up! Palace kicks him off guard. No, near falls.
Strong kick out by Pollock.
And Pollock muscling Palace back into the corner.
Right back to the corner. He's not done yet. They got to work him over a little more.
You got to believe Ryback's getting just impatient and frustrated on the outside.
You know, Ryback is very big, very strong, very mean, but he's kind of very useless when he's just in the corner like that. That is the beauty of this match.
That's kind of the point, yeah. RC Dupree in here. This guy's a goofball.
Nice short arm close. I believe you mean goofball with the utmost respect.
Yeah, how do you say goofball in French?
Goofball.
Okay. Get one of those umlauts on those vowels. And again, slow, methodical pace. Team Storm dictating the tempo of this contest. They are shutting down that frenetic energy of Andrew Palace. Palace with the brakes on.
Oh no.
And Pollock to the floor. Palace has a clear path to Ryback.
Someone get in there. They have. This is the beauty of the handicap match. These gentlemen have two men in their corner. Oh, look at Ryback. Please love me, audience. Please.
I don't think he needs to ask. They already love him. And they would love to see a tag. Pollock is back in the ring, but can he get to Palace in time?
Come on, guys. Get it together.
Pollock tags in Argos. And here comes the big guy. Ryback explodes. Tackles to Argos. And a running tackle.
Banging his chest. Who is he, Mighty Joe Young?
And a stinger splash. And a knee strike. Ryback is a house of fire. Senton cannonball.
I think Dupree needs to get in there.
I don't think Dupree wants to get in there. Cover Pollock with the save.
Fine breakup by Pollock.
Needed breakup by Pollock. He had no choice.
Oh, Lord.
Pollock is trapped.
Here we go.
Pollock needs help from Dupree.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no. Pollock is hanging on for dear life, and Ryback is still pulling and stretching, and Argos now. You gotta be kidding me. No! Ryback just elevated well over 500 pounds. This place is exploding. Ryback, meat hook clothesline, Argos counters.
Good night.
Oh, God, the second time. Good night. Cover, Dupree saves his buddy.
The force from the super kick turned Ryback around into a clothesline. That's how strong the super kick was.
And now Pollock and Dupree, the only two left standing on their team.
Here we go, working it over.
And Ryback now positioned up top.
You put that guy up top, he's way out of his element.
Oh,
he has no idea what's going on.
Can they elevate Ryback this time? Two at once. This didn't work individually at the outset.
Oh, no.
If it does now, Ryback's done for. Headbutt. Oh, spine buster. Second time. That could do it. No.
This is crunch time for a handicap match. It's 3-on-2. There's always a fresh man to break up the pin.
Without a doubt, now Palace back in. What does Palace have left in him, RJ?
Oh, a bunch of depressing-looking forearms.
Depressing
what a big
for who?
man he is.
Depressing for Argos.
Oh, no.
Argos to the floor. Team Storm needs to regroup, but they may not have that chance.
This shows you how deft a man like Palace is. Saying, hey, let's jump out of the ring. That seems like a good idea.
Let's take a chance, suicide dive. Hey, that idea paid off, didn't it?
I think Ryback looks like he's getting an idea. Here comes the Lawrence Welk business again.
Well, Lawrence Welk never did a suicide dive, sir, and I'm not sure what Ryback's thinking of. But whatever it is, it does not bode well for anybody else. Are you kidding me?
No.
Ryback through the ropes.
If you've ever seen a refrigerator fall out of a 10-story building.
Argos is going to feel like he fell 10 stories. Shotgun drop kick. Another shot shock. Ryback on top. Forget about it.
Well, this is an outrage.
We saw a little bit from Ryback we never thought we'd see. We saw Andrew Palace rise to the occasion. And Ryback may have been right about what he said last night, is when it's 3-on-2 and Ryback's one of the two, the 2 is greater than 3.
I tell you something, these boys are going to regroup and come back harder than ever. Ryback and Palace will rue the day they upset such a fine unit. I'm so upset that I'm going to go binge watch Matlock. Excuse me, good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, IWCWrestling.com. Follow us on social media. It's been another stellar night from Meadville. We'll see you next time on IWC Home Video.